Hello boys, welcome back to another session of video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 12th biology students, and this is for 16th January 2021. As we have been into the revision mode and we are revising the entire syllabus, we are having the revision of chapter number 3, that is human reproduction. So the revision is mainly for making you to get familiarized with multiple choice questions, 2-mark questions, 3-mark questions, as well as 5-mark questions, plus to train you in new pattern of question, that is case study questions. One paragraph will be given. Based on the paragraph, 5 questions will be there. Out of 5, 4 you have to answer, and each question 1 mark. So like this, you have got 8 marks of this case study pattern of questions in section A. Plus diagram based questions. This is very important. You need to practice. That's why I keep on telling you, being a biology boy, keep on drawing. At least daily one diagram you draw, label it, and understand the significance of each label. The reason is, again, the diagram based question will be of 3 marks. 3 marks, that is section C. So you need to train yourself in that. So as part of that, let's move on. Question number 1. Which of the following group of hormones are produced during pregnancy? A. Progesterone, of course, progestogens, HPL and relaxin. Then HCG, HPL and relaxin. Estrogens, HPL and relaxin. HCG, estrogens and relaxin. I think this is B. HCG, HPL and relaxin. Without relaxin, of course, there is no question of delivery of the baby. Question 2. Which one is correctly matched for? A. Colostrum, secretion found in seminal fluid. No. Clitoris, male external gene. No. Coitus, sexual intercourse. Of course, the technical word for sexual intercourse is coitus. Ovary, pigmented circular area around the nipple. All are wrong. Question 3. In human beings, fertilization of egg takes place in. Fertilization. Ovary? No. Yes. Oviduct? Yeah. Vagina? No. And uterus. So here, fertilization takes place in oviduct. In that I said, what is that? Isthmus junction, right? Oviduct. And then question number 4. 5 oogonia yield 10 primary oocytes. Then how many ova are produced on completion of oogenesis? Okay, so 5 oogonia yield 10 primary oocytes. Then how many ova are produced on completion of oogenesis? Of course, it has to be 5. Oogonia produce ova, same number. So 40, 20, 5, 10. Again, it is the meiosis. Recollect the basis of meiosis. Failure of testis to descend into scrotum is called archinotronism, testinolism, cryptochidism. Yes, cryptochidism technically, and of course copulation. Copulation is a different one. Androgens, question number 6. Androgens are produced by Sertoli cells. Perfectly wrong it is, because we know that androgens, male sex hormones, are produced by Leydig cells, not Sertoli cells. Okay. Question number 7. Some organisms like honeybees are called parthenogenetic animals. Give reason. So you must know what is parthenogenesis. Okay. Next. 8. Which part of the male reproductive system stores sperms? Storage of sperms. 9. Just now we were talking. Leydig cells are found in ovary. It has to be false, because we said Leydig cells are responsible for production of androgens just now. Question number 10. Write the location and function of Sertoli cells in human. Next. Name the hormone responsible for the descent of testis into the scrotum. Why does the failure of this process result in sterility? If you know the importance of scrotum, we know why it is resulting in sterility. Question 12. Study the following flow chart. Name the hormones involved in each state. Explain their function. So hypothalamus secretes something which will activate the pituitary. Pituitary will secrete something and activates the ovary. And ovary gets activated and results in pregnancy. So what are the hormones that are secreted? So flow chart, let us fill that. Question 13. Draw labeled diagram of male reproductive system. Of course, this is a straight question. That's why I said importance of diagrams. You need to practice both male reproductive, female reproductive, as well as flow chart of menstruation. Okay, all the say 29 days, that flow chart you have to practice. Question number 14. Study the illustration given below and identify A. Identify A. Name and state the function of C. Identify D. Diagram based question. Explain the role of hormones in the formation and release of A. Draw diagram of B separately and label the parts that helps its entry into A, that carry genetic material, that help in its movements. So this is the diagram. Diagram is this. So you got A, B, C, D labeled. Okay. Based on that you need to answer. Again, question number 15 also again diagram based question. Identify the figure that illustrates corpus luteum and name the pituitary hormone that influences its formation. Corpus luteum. So for the rupture of Graafian follicles you go, left out one is that. Specify the endocrine function of corpus luteum. How does it influence the uterus? Why is it essential? What is the difference between D and E? This is D and this is E. Okay. So see that just by looking at the diagram you will understand what is the difference. Next, draw neat labeled sketch of Graafian follicle. Just now I said diagram based question, very very important. You need to practice lot of diagrams. Now let's go for the answer session. As usual, before you jump to answer session, you answer all the 15 questions. Then keep your answer sheet in front of this the answer chart that I am giving and compare your answers with this. So question 1B, HCG, HPL and relaxin. What is HCG? Human chorionic gonadotropin. And HCl, human placental lactogens. And relaxin. These are produced in human females only during pregnancy. C. Coitus, sexual intercourse. Transfer of male gamete into female genital tract takes place during sexual intercourse, which is also called as coitus. Clitoris is the part of female reproductive system. Colostrum is the first milk secreted from mammary gland. Question 3, it has to be B, oviduct. Fertilization of egg in human female takes place in oviduct or fallopian tube at the junction of ampullary isthmus junction. This is again neat question, UPSC NDA question. Ampullary isthmus. General one is oviduct. Again specifically where in oviduct? It is in the ampullary isthmus junction. So AIT I said. Remember? Ampullary isthmus junction. AG. Okay. Fertilized egg travels towards the uterus after that. Question number 4. C. Each oogonium produces one ovum at the end of oogenesis process and 3 polar bodies. This you know. Out of the 4, 1 becomes functional, 3 becomes non-functional and become food for that functional ovum. Thus 5 oogonia will produce 5 ova at the completion of oogenesis process. Remaining will be out, dissolved. Next. Of course, we know this cryptorchidism. Cryptorchidism is an abnormal condition in male reproductive system in which scrotum does not descend outside the abdominal cavity. The males may not be able to produce fertile sperms. That is a disadvantage. Okay. Next, question number 6. Of course, for this cryptorchidism, there is a surgery, and with the help of surgery, doctors bring down that to outside the abdominal cavity. Next, 6th, of course, it has to be false. Androgens are produced by Leydig cells found in seminiferous tubules of the testis. Question number 7. In honeybees, ovum grows and matures into an individual without fertilization. That's why parthenogenesis, formation of the formation of a seed without fertilizer. We said in plants, parthenogenetic fruit, we call it pseudo fruits. Banana is a pseudo fruit, we said. So there is no involvement of fertilization. Therefore, these animals are called parthenogenetic animals. So in honeybees also same thing happens. Ovum grows and matures into individual. So there is no requirement of sperm here. There is no fertilization. Without fertilization, ovum itself becomes a honeybee. Next, question number 8. The epididymis is a long coiled tube that stores sperms and transports it from the testis. Epididymis is a long coiled tube. Question number 9. Again, it is false. Leydig cells are found in the seminiferous tubules of the testis. Next, question number 10. Sertoli cells are large, pyramid shaped, found inside seminiferous tubules, and basically they are for nutrition. Its main function is to nourish the developing sperm cells through the stages of spermatogenesis. So Sertoli cells are for nourishment. Leydig cells are for production of androgens. So you can remember Leydig androgen. Next, the Sertoli cell has also been called as mother or nurse cells because they feed the sperms with their nourishment. Sertoli cells also act as phagocytes, consuming the residual cytoplasm during spermatogenesis. That's how Sertoli cells play their role. Next, question number 11. AMH, androgens, paracrine hormone, gonadotrophins and testosterone contribute to the descending of testis into the scrotum. So many hormones. Gonadotrophins act on Leydig cells, which in turn stimulates the production of testosterone that plays a major role in the descent of testis from the scrotum. So you can remember this, at least testosterone. The failure of the testis to descend into the scrotum causes sterility because sperm formation does not occur at the abdominal temperature. We said it has to be lower than the body temperature. All of us know our body temperature 37 degrees centigrade. It has to be in the scrotum -2, 35 degrees centigrade. So for that only it is required 2 degrees less, then only sperm production takes place. The human male possesses 2 testes lying in a scrotum outside the abdominal cavity. Sperm production is efficient at temperature that is lower than the body temperature. This is important, lower than the body temperature. Scrotum acts as a thermoregulator and enhances the sperm production by keeping the testis cool. So thermoregulators. That's the reason why scrotum is the testis must descend and come out of the abdominal cavity. They have to be outside. Question number 12. Hypothalamus. It releases GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone, which stimulates pituitary. Pituitary, after stimulation, it secretes FSH, LH. FSH regulates the functioning of the ovary during follicular phase by stimulating the growth of a ovarian follicle into matured Graafian follicle and secretion of estrogens from the follicular cells. LH, luteinizing hormone, stimulates the mature follicle to rupture and release of ovum. And release of ovum, is called ovulation. And ovary, after ovulation, LH stimulates the formation of corpus luteum inside the ruptured follicle. And corpus luteum starts secretion of progesterone, which is essential for the maintenance of pregnancy. See, this flowchart you must remember. Next, question number 13. Take a pencil, draw this diagram, label it, and you must know the importance of each part that you are labeling. Glans penis, scrotum, just now I said importance, testis importance I said, epididymis I said, bulbourethral gland, urethra, prostate gland, vas deferens, ejaculatory duct, seminal vesicle, ureter, of course, urinary bladder. All these importance of each one significance. And question number 14, again diagram based, it's a human ovum. And second one, Zona pellicida. When one sperm penetrates the ovum, the Zona pellicida makes it impervious to other sperm. This is very, very important, Zona pellicida. And the third, cells of corona radiate layer. Then GnRH of hypothalamus stimulates the anterior pituitary, and that releases two hormones, two important hormones, follicular stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. FSH, as the name suggests, stimulates the formation of ovum by stimulating the growth of ovarian follicles, primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary, like that. By the action of LH, luteinizing hormone, the oocyte completes the first meiotic division and becomes a secondary oocyte, and finally release from the follicle. And next, question 5th, the diagram of sperm, acrosome, head, nucleus, mitochondria, middle piece, tail, and write the significance of each of this. And you must draw with a pencil, and diagram should be most beautiful. Question number 15, again diagram based. One, figure G illustrates corpus luteum, and it produces luteinizing hormone. Corpus luteum secretes progesterone, which is very essential for pregnancy, stimulates the continued growth of superficial layer of endometrium, and the endometrium becomes ready for implantation. It is essential for continuation of pregnancy. Next, the figure D represents a fertility follicle, okay, or tertiary follicle. Actually, it is tertiary follicle, in which a primary oocyte completes its first meiotic division, meiosis, while figure E represents the Graafian follicle, ready for ovulation. Already you have seen that cavity formed and it is ready for rupture. And then mature Graafian follicle, this is how you need to draw. Again, take a pencil, outer layer theca, inner one granulosa cells, and the cavity is called antrum, and cumulus oophrys, again Zona pellicida, very, very important. Just now we talked about that. Only it will allow one sperm to fuse, other sperms will be rejected when millions of sperms are ejaculated. And of course, very, very important, secondary oocyte. So this is how you need to answer. Let us train ourselves next time in the next chapter so that we are comfortable. So you need to write like this tomorrow in the exam also. So all the best. Draw beautiful diagrams, label it correctly on one side like it is shown here, and explain the importance of each labeling. And do not write lengthy, unnecessary answers. Write the points that are required for the question. Answer to the points. I will not see how many